I'm going to tell you a story about a situation that happened to me overseas when I was in eighth grade.
On Christmas Day 2009, a day of celebration and peace, a potential catastrophe was unfolding in the skies over Metro Detroit. A Nigerian-born suicide bomber, Umar Farouk Abdulmutallab, was preparing to take down a flight from Amsterdam with explosives hidden in his underwear. He'd been instructed to detonate the bomb over a populated area.
My mom had got a fellowship at the University of London, and she took me with her overseas. It's my first time going to school overseas. I'd moved around a lot, but this is my first time going overseas, and I was really nervous. At first, I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay and play football, of all sports, because I was really serious about it at the time. We flew over. When we got to the country, fast forwarding, I was detained for almost 20 hours because there was a visa that had just been created that my mom didn't have, basically stating that if she was a professor or a student, she could have a child go to a state-funded school. And they're really weary about my identity and what I looked like and how old I looked. I was very tall, very big for my age at the time. Also, we were read as Jamaican and not American, Black American, which is a whole nother level of politics that's it goes beyond England. Long story short, I made it in the country, but I had to carry around a temporary passport type thing for the duration of my stay. But I really took to this area, this community center in London, and the center of town and center of the city, and I really enjoyed going there and meeting a lot of different people. And I used to always go to the computer lab and make music, make beats. That's where I started. One day I decided to go on a Saturday. I'd never been to this place on a Saturday before. It looked fine. There's students up there when I was there. So yeah, I'm just, on the computer all day, not really paying attention. And then after a few hours, I look up, I'm like, it's really quiet here. I look up and I'm like, there's no one here. There's no one to be found. What the heck? This is a dream. This is a dream. What's going on? There's no one in this room. It's just a white room with a bunch of computers. It's really gloomy outside, so it's kind of already dark, even though it's about, 5 p.m. So I'm like, whatever. Usually it closes at 8 or 9, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm sure there's someone downstairs. So, I'm watching a movie on the computer, and then I'm like, no one's here yet. I'm going to go downstairs. I go downstairs, completely dark. All you can see is the emergency lights, the exit lights. I knock on this weird plastic gated security thing that was supposed to stop people from breaking in. I was knocking on it. I was trying to push buttons. That's when I realized I was locked in this building because I couldn't find any other exits. I run upstairs. I'm frantically typing messages to my mom. Help me, I need help. And I'm like, how do I get out of here? The windows are barred, everything. So I'm like, Malik, just go back downstairs. Mind you, it's getting really dark, and I'm afraid of the dark. I'm I'm scared. So I go down there. I don't know what's going on. I just saw a scary movie. That's what I was watching on the computer. And then I keep trying to find my way through the dark, and I push this button I thought would open the door out of nowhere. And I'm just like, what did you do? The whole building is just erupting in this frantic emergency fire alarm thing. So I run upstairs. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I type my mom. I'm like, Mom, I think I pulled the fire alarm, and I see all these trucks, all these vans, police, all this stuff. I'm like, what if we get deported? What if it looks like I'm trying to break in and steal a bunch of equipment from this center? We're already on the great graces of England that I'm in the country without having a visa. So I'm like, wow. Luckily, all those reinforcements are going somewhere else, but I'm still stuck in here. And it's so funny because sometimes whenever you lose something, an elder or someone, be like, it's always the place that you didn't look. There was an exit sign behind me where I was sitting the whole time, and I was too frantic to sit down and really think about what was going on. I go back. I open the door. I go down the exit, and there's already this keymaster guy. Well, I'm fast forwarding. I go downstairs. I still can't get out because there's like this 12-foot gate. Everything in England is like gated for some stupid reason. There's a 12-foot gate that's stopping me from getting out. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to hop it. Forget it. And then this guy's like, wait. I'm like, who is, oh my God, who is that guy? I don't know who he is. Who is this guy? He's creepy. Oh, they sent me here because they said you were locked in. I'm like, can you get me out? And he's like, yes. So he opens these huge gates, and then I just sprint. I'm gone. I hop on my skateboard. I go around the corner, and my mom was like, oh, there you are. She was like, I'm really paranoid. I thought someone was trying to con me or something. Are you okay? I was like, let's just go home. And we went home. But that was a scary moment where I thought I'd be deported. I never thought in a situation, I never thought I'd be in a situation like that, and I was really worried. But I don't know. I was really glad my mom decided to come, and I'm glad I got to see her. And that was one time I was like, oh, I love my mom so much. I always love her, but that's when I was like, yeah, I'm glad I got to see her that time. So